In the early hours of the 29th of November 2025, the Ukrainian Security Service, SBU, released a series of images that have captured international attention. These images appear to show a naval drone attack on 2 tankers in the Black Sea. According to the Ukrainian authorities, the tankers involved were transporting oil believed to be sanctioned Russian oil. The explosions rocked the vessels in Turkish waters, a highly strategic region that lies between Europe and Asia and remains under the purview of Turkey, a NATO member. The attack reportedly occurred overnight, and details of the explosions began to surface early in the morning. The Turkish Transport Ministry confirmed that the explosions did indeed take place in Turkish waters, adding a layer of international complexity to an already tense geopolitical situation. These developments follow increasing efforts by Ukraine to disrupt Russia's energy exports, which have long been a key component of the Russian economy, despite global sanctions targeting such shipments. The images released by the SBU show what appear to be the Sea Baby naval drones in action. The drones are part of Ukraine's growing fleet of unmanned maritime vehicles, which have been deployed in the ongoing conflict with Russia. These drones, according to Ukrainian officials, are being used as a form of retaliation against Russia's maritime activities, which have been pivotal to Moscow's supply chains, especially in the Black Sea region. Ukraine has focused much of its strategic efforts on targeting Russia's Black Sea fleet and its associated infrastructure, aiming to limit Russia's ability to conduct military operations and to transport key resources like oil. The images shared by the SBU show a series of precise drone strikes. The footage begins with a mid-shot of a Sea Baby naval drone in operation, indicating the drone's readiness for an assault. Shortly thereafter, a wide shot shows the drone making direct contact with one of the tankers. The impact leads to an explosion, and smoke begins to billow from the vessel, marking the beginning of what would be a prolonged series of visual moments captured by the drone's cameras. These visuals provide a glimpse into the intensity of the strike. As the smoke intensifies, the footage transitions to an extreme wide shot that showcases the full scale of the damage, with the tanker engulfed in flames. The thick black smoke rising from the burning vessel is a stark indication of the severity of the attack. Additional shots show continued explosions and smoke as the flames spread across the ship. The second tanker targeted also falls victim to the Sea Baby drones, with footage showing similar scenes of fire and smoke as the cargo ship is struck by the drones. The images have raised questions about the growing role of unmanned technologies in modern warfare, particularly in the maritime domain. This incident is not isolated, but rather a part of a broader pattern of escalating hostilities between Ukraine and Russia, particularly in the Black Sea, a key strategic location for both nations. In the wake of the attack, Ukrainian officials have made it clear that they view these actions as part of a broader military strategy to weaken Russia's ability to continue its oil exports. Ukraine has long sought to undermine Russia's energy industry, given its centrality to Russia's economic power. The Black Sea is a crucial route for Russian oil exports, and by targeting ships carrying sanctioned oil, Ukraine aims to disrupt Russia's ability to bypass international sanctions. While there has been no official confirmation from Ukrainian officials regarding the specific identity of the tankers involved, sources within the Ukrainian government have indicated that these ships were likely carrying oil that had been sanctioned by international bodies in response to Russia's ongoing military actions. The images have provided a glimpse into Ukraine's strategic capabilities, signaling that they are increasingly willing to use unmanned technologies to target vital Russian infrastructure. The release of these images by the SBU also reflects Ukraine's continued focus on leveraging its intelligence capabilities to bring attention to Russian activities in the region. The Ukrainian government has made it clear that they will not hesitate to act when they believe Russia is circumventing international sanctions. As the conflict in Ukraine continues to evolve, the use of naval drones and other unmanned technologies has become a focal point for Ukrainian forces, particularly in areas like the Black Sea. Turkey's involvement in this incident is significant. As the host nation for the waterways that connect the Black Sea to the Mediterranean through the Bosporus Strait, Turkey holds considerable sway over regional maritime activities. While Turkey has maintained a delicate balancing act between supporting Ukraine and preserving its relations with Russia, this attack on vessels in Turkish waters adds a new layer of complexity to the situation. It remains to be seen how Turkey will respond, particularly since the explosions occurred in its territorial waters. The Turkish Transport Ministry, which confirmed the explosions early on November 29, has yet to release a detailed statement regarding the current status of the affected tankers or whether there were any casualties. At this point, the full impact of the attack on both the tankers and the broader geopolitical landscape is unclear. However, the attack is certainly likely to add to the already fraught atmosphere in the region, with both Ukrainian and Russian forces engaged in ongoing military operations throughout the area. As for Russia's reaction to the incident, no official statements have been released thus far. Moscow's silence on the matter is notable, given the scale of the damage and the international implications of the attack. Russia has consistently downplayed or denied Ukrainian claims of successful attacks on its infrastructure, and it remains to be seen whether this incident will prompt a stronger response. The broader context of this attack is crucial in understanding its significance. Over the past several months, the Black Sea has become an increasingly contested region. In the early phases of the conflict, Russia's naval dominance in the region was virtually uncontested. However, as the war has continued, Ukraine has successfully implemented strategies to challenge Russia's control over the Black Sea, using a combination of military and non-military tactics. The use of unmanned aerial and naval drones has become a hallmark of Ukraine's strategy. These advanced technologies have allowed Ukraine to conduct precision strikes on Russian targets while limiting direct confrontation and human casualties. By targeting key infrastructure, such as oil tankers, Ukraine is sending a clear message to Russia and the international community that it will continue to disrupt Russia's economic base as part of its ongoing fight. The role of sanctions in the ongoing conflict cannot be overstated. Western nations have imposed a series of economic sanctions on Russia, targeting its oil and gas exports, among other industries. These sanctions have had a significant impact on Russia's economy, but the effectiveness of the sanctions has been called into question as Russia has found ways to circumvent them by targeting tankers transporting sanctioned oil. Ukraine is directly attacking Russia's ability to export energy resources, undermining the effectiveness of these sanctions. The international community will likely be watching closely to see how this incident unfolds. The Black Sea has long been a region of geopolitical tension, with both Russia and Ukraine vying for control and influence. The attack on these tankers is likely to raise concerns in the broader international community about the growing militarization of the region. Countries with interests in the Black Sea, such as Turkey, Romania and Bulgaria, will be particularly focused on the developments, as any further escalation in the area could have wide-ranging consequences for regional stability. It is also worth noting that the Black Sea is a vital shipping route for both Russian and international trade. Any disruptions to shipping in the region could have significant economic consequences, not just for Russia, but for countries across Europe and Asia. The use of naval drones to target tankers further complicates the situation, as it introduces a new element of warfare that has the potential to destabilize global shipping routes. As of now, the situation remains fluid. Ukrainian forces have indicated that they will continue to take action against Russian infrastructure, including in the Black Sea. Russia's response, particularly whether it will retaliate for the destruction of these tankers, will be crucial in determining how the conflict evolves in the coming days. Turkey's stance will also be key, as it could influence the direction of the situation in the Black Sea. In conclusion, the images released by the Ukrainian Security Service show a significant escalation in the use of naval drones to target Russian infrastructure. These attacks, which struck 2 tankers in Turkish waters, highlight Ukraine's continued efforts to disrupt Russia's oil exports and undermine the effectiveness of international sanctions. As the situation unfolds, it remains to be seen how Russia, Ukraine and Turkey will respond, and what the broader implications will be for regional stability in the Black Sea.